So putting together a business plan in cannabis, I've seen a lot of business plans in cannabis businesses, um, especially in new markets. But what is cannabis going to be going for in 5 years? We don't know. All this is new. There's not good hard data to put together um, in cannabis businesses. The industry itself, at least as a legal regulated one, is just now being put together. So how do you predict where you're going to be in 5 years if you don't even know what the cost of cannabis is going to be in 5 years? The only thing that you can really do in putting together the numbers, which is what most investors are going to flip right to, what is this making? How are you realizing revenue? How are you going to realize revenue? Is to look for the best data that you can get, which is states that have done it before. Whether you're medical or recreational, you can get some data from the states. You can gauge what the price of cannabis is currently. You can analyze trends about how you believe it's going. But a business plan is exactly that. You're not going to get, I don't know of anyone who's ever put together a business plan and then looked at it 5 years later and said, nailed it. It just doesn't work that way. What your business plan is your best estimate of getting to where you're going to be. And also, remember when you're putting together a business plan, a lot of people think that you're just putting together a business plan to get investment because they're going to ask you for your business plan. But it's not. Your business plan is your business plan. And being overly exuberant on a business plan so that investors will look at it is not a good way to run a business. And believe me, most of the investors that are looking at it are going to see your over exuberance. So you're going to want to have numbers. Not only are you going to have numbers that are based on something, you want it to be a part of your business plan. How did I get these numbers? How did I put together these projections? Go a little conservative. Like say conservatively, we can say that this market is this much. And conservatively, we can say that by this time, 20% of that market will be covered by a legal regulated means. But make sure you're using historical data as much as you can. Business plans are hard to write. And I think a lot of people just think that you find an expert in business plans, someone that writes business plans, and you just say, write a business plan for me. And if the person that is writing your business plan agrees to that, he's probably the wrong person. Just you write my business plan, give it to me, and I'll go with that. You're going to have to. It's great to work with a professional that puts these together, no question. However, remember, what differentiates you in the market? What makes you special? What is your plan? Are you a niche, or are you planning on world domination? Whatever it is. You're a brand. Well, okay, how do you plan on becoming that brand? What are your licensing agreements? How much money are you going to spend on advertising? Do you have your renderings together of the actual brand? Do you have a product line put together? Those are the sorts of things that you're really going to want to focus on. Putting together a business plan is not easy. And it's going to take some thought. And really, if you have a professional, great. Sit down with them. Take the time. A lot of this stuff is something that it is imperative to do right to begin with, because a lot of times it's hard to switch once you get going. So you want to be thoughtful about what it is you're doing and have something that can actually guide your business. I have a lawyer friend, talking to me about contracts, and the lawyer says, look, you pay us before, you pay us after, right? And you're going to end up paying us more once you have some sort of conflict, investor conflict, a partner conflict, something. So it's incredibly important that you're thoughtful about those documents, that when you're putting them together, that you're reading them, that you're understanding, that you're having questions about it. That, you know, if someone asks you a question about, okay, in your company, if this happens, what happens? That you're going to be able to know the answer to that because you're that familiar with the documents. It is a really good idea to take the time up front, have good documents, and be very familiar with them, because after all, it's your company that hangs in the balance and the future of your company.